Xbox Game Pass is well known for its ridiculous value, and every month it just gets better and better. With Microsoft pushing the service and adding new titles all the time, it can almost be overwhelming to find your next game. So we're here to make that just a little bit easier. Here are 10 entire game series you can currently play right now on Xbox Game Pass. Let's have a look. Number 10. Crysis. A series that has always boasted graphical prowess and has broken PCs for many years, you can enjoy the console versions of the classic Crytek series through backwards compatibility and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, with the entire Crysis series being included in EA Play. Equipped with the series' super-powered nanosuit and an arsenal of weaponry and skills including active camouflage and super strength, Crysis is a first-person shooter power fantasy. Although the subsequent games didn't receive as high critical praise as the original title, Crysis 2 and 3 are still enjoyable enough to play if you just want to experience some high-octane, super-powered shooting action against enemy human factions, as well as a series alien enemy, the Ceph. And even through backwards compatibility from the Xbox 360, this whole series holds up pretty well in the modern day. Number 9. Dead Space. One of the all-time classic survival horror series, Dead Space is another franchise you can enjoy in its entirety through Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and EA Play. This sci-fi third-person horror franchise is lauded by critics as an absolute masterpiece, at least the first two games in particular, and it's a series that doesn't mess around with its horrifying necromorph enemies being a constant threat and source of fear. With Xbox Game Pass Ultimate now including the EA Play subscription, you can enjoy the entire Dead Space trilogy as well as Dead Space Ignition, which is a spin-off set in the same universe. And despite the series turning into a more action-focused title in the third entry, the first and second Dead Space games are fondly remembered and always one of the series that are spoken about when it comes to getting a remastered trilogy. If you want to get scared, get into Dead Space. Number 8. Dragon Age. Another game series you can play with EA Play thanks to Game Pass Ultimate is BioWare's Dragon Age. From its roots in 2009's incredible Dragon Age Origins, where you take the mantle of a Grey Warden in an epic war against the Darkspawn, through Dragon Age 2's smaller and more intimate story of Hawke, to the fantasy epic of Dragon Age Inquisition, you can get absolutely stuck in the world of Thedas with its deep lore, incredible characters, and fantastic stories. If you haven't played Dragon Age before, definitely start with the original game, because despite its graphical limitations compared to its sequels, the game is so well written, fleshed out, and has some of the best character interactions and story moments of the whole series. It's BioWare doing what they did best. It'll introduce you into this beautiful world that BioWare created over a decade ago and is one of the best fantasy RPGs of all time. Although the critical reception of Dragon Age 2 wasn't quite as high as Origins, and for mostly good reasons, the sequel introduces you to some classic and memorable characters like Varric and Anders, and still tells a fantastic story even if it lacks in diversity of locations. And the final game so far is Inquisition, a game running on the Frostbite engine. Is truly beautiful to behold and has a deep plotline which will lead directly into the upcoming Dragon Age 4, which is currently in development. Number 7. Fable. Another series that has an upcoming game on the horizon, and one that has been dormant for a long time, Lionhead Studios' Fable series is another fantasy epic RPG for the ages. The beloved Fable series takes place in the fictional world of Albion, and each game is set in a different time. From the game's mostly typical fantasy vibe to the industrial coming of age in the third game over 500 years later, Fable has never been afraid as a series to change things up. The series has always had a great sense of humour and British charm, with great characters and actors, a stellar story, especially in Fable 2, and creative combat which gives players melee weapons, magic, and firearms. The decisions you will make will always change the story and people's perception of you, not to mention your physical appearance, with the second game even allowing you to essentially become an angel or a demon in appearance, depending on how you choose to go about your playthrough. Although a lot of people were cool on the third entry, it's still a fabulous game with a great story and fleshes out the world in some interesting ways. It's just one more series that has a highly anticipated reboot on the horizon from Xbox Game Studios, and you can get up to speed with the world of Albion right now on Game Pass. Number 6. Age of Empires. Exclusive to Game Pass for PC, players can enjoy the entire mainline Age of Empires series in their definitive editions or with updated textures, additional content, and even online play. Age of Empires 1 Definitive Edition takes the 1997 classic RTS game and brings it into the modern age, with a huge bump to its visual style while maintaining the game's heart and soul, adds remastered audio and an improved AI. Many players' favourite title in the series, Age of Empires 2 gets even more benefits, with 4K graphics, a brand new soundtrack, and even includes brand new content called The Last Khans, which adds 3 new campaigns as well as 4 new civilizations. Microsoft has even released new DLC, Lords of the West, with Burgundy and Sicilian civilizations being added to the title, as well as more brand new campaigns for players to sink their teeth into. The fact that Age of Empires 2 is still so popular after all these years speaks volumes of the game's quality. Finally, Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition continued the trend in 2020, bringing a 4K remaster with improved audio, new civilizations in the Swedes and the Inca, all expansions included, online play, and even new game modes and mod support. The only game missing from this list is Age of Mythology, which you can only assume is in the works seeing as how popular these remasters have been, and this all prepares players for the upcoming release of the next numbered entry, Age of Empires 4, which has been worked on for a number of years at Xbox Game Studios and is highly anticipated by many players. Number 5. Gears of War. Well, this one's a no-brainer. One of the preeminent Xbox franchises and now a first-party blockbuster thanks to the work of the Coalition, the Gears of War series is of course included in Xbox Game Pass from start to finish. The first game in the series has even been updated graphically with 4K resolution in the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, but don't let backwards compatibility for Gears of War 2 and 3 stop you from enjoying these absolute classics. Even though the Gears franchise has always from the outside looked like a macho shooter that's nothing but blood, guts, chainsaws and huge mountains of men killing alien creatures, there's actually so much more to this series than meets the eye, and the games have all had incredible stories, hugely memorable characters, and some moments that'll bring a man mountain to his knees. The first 3 Gears games were developed by Epic Games and published by Microsoft, then were followed up by a spin-off, Gears Judgment, developed by People Can Fly, the team about to release their own third-person shooter, Outriders. Since Epic sold the rights to the series to Xbox, and the Coalition studio was formed specifically to work on the Gears of War franchise, the subsequent games have shown the studio is one of the finest in the Xbox Game Studios family. Gears 4 brought in a younger cast and introduced players to JD Phoenix, Del Walker, and Kate Diaz to carry the torch against the new antagonist, the Swarm. In Gears 5, they focus mainly on Kate's story, and without spoiling it, I think it holds up in writing and storytelling easily against Gears 2 and 3. In 2020, Coalition and Splash Damage Studios released Gears Tactics, an XCOM-like strategy game set in the Gears universe and a prequel to Gears of War 1, and the Coalition also released Hivebusters, an add-on campaign to Gears 5, which is also included in Xbox Game Pass. So if you want to get chainsawing and enjoy some of the best third-person combat ever to grace video game screens, get stuck into the Gears of War series. Number 4. Yakuza. A game series that has been locked to PlayStation consoles until very recently, Yakuza has so much content to enjoy, now available on Game Pass, that it's almost ridiculous. With 7 games all now playable on your subscription, it's never been a better time to get into the crime drama and over-the-top wackiness of the Yakuza games, from Yakuza 0, Kiwami 1 and 2, the remastered collection including Yakuza 3 to 5, and finally Yakuza 6 are all here. And yes, technically this isn't the whole series, because Like a Dragon isn't included. This is the entire series with the original protagonist, Kazuma Kiryu. The series is known for its bombastic craziness as much as it is for its dramatic crime plot lines and incredible characters, as much for its minigames as it is for its stories, and you can finally enjoy it all on Xbox consoles and all within a Game Pass subscription. Even the series spin-off Judgment will be coming to Xbox Series X later this year, so fans of Japanese games can truly get lost in Kamurocho with this classic rolling drama. Number 3. Kingdom Hearts. Another Japanese series that's long been out of reach for Xbox gamers, Kingdom Hearts is now available on Game Pass as well. Alright, so I'm not into the Kingdom Hearts series, so let me know my ignorance in the comments below, but a Game Pass subscription gives you access to a whole bunch of Kingdom Hearts content, including Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 Remix, which includes the first 2 mainline games, as well as remastered cinematics from 2 of the Nintendo DS releases, a Game Boy Advance game, and a PSP release. Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, which is just the stupidest name for anything ever, which includes a movie, a spin-off of a different side game in the series, and a HD remaster of Dream Drop Distance from the Nintendo DS. And, of course, Kingdom Hearts 3, which is quite simply the third mainline game in the series, which only released a couple of years ago. A decent amount of content for anyone who wants to dive into the Kingdom Hearts series, and it's great to see this kind of content coming to other platforms after so many years of being left off any Xbox console. Number 2. Mass Effect. If you've watched my content for literally any amount of time, you know how much Mass Effect means to me, and that it's my favourite series of all time, so I couldn't leave it off this list. And with the remastered version about to release in May, it's never been a better time to be a Mass Effect fan. But if you want to experience this landmark series like it was originally released, you can do so with Game Pass Ultimate and EA Play. From 2007's Mass Effect, with its beautiful introduction to its galaxy of aliens, lore, technology, and characters, through Mass Effect 2's phenomenal storytelling, decision-making, darker tone, and its suicide mission, through the conclusion and climax in Mass Effect 3, this sci-fi epic story of Commander Shepard saving the galaxy from the Reapers is beloved by so many for so many reasons. I could literally go on all day about the Mass Effect trilogy for ages, but check out my first ever video if you can stand to watch it 2 years later, which looks at why Mass Effect was so special. It does, however, include some spoilers, so be careful if you haven't played it. Or my later video, which shows why Mass Effect may well be the greatest game of all time. This one has no spoilers, so go check it out to see why I love that series so much. And despite its poor critical reception and somewhat disappointing story and characters in comparison to the original trilogy, EA Play even lets you enjoy 2017's Mass Effect Andromeda. It's nowhere near as incredible as its predecessors, but it's a fun romp at times and has some decent moments and some pretty good combat. So if you really want to dive deep into the entire series before the remaster and then the next Mass Effect game, which is in very early development, you can get it all on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Number 1. Halo. The big daddy of the Xbox family, the range of titles you can play from the Halo series through Game Pass is just insane. Alright, here we go. Halo Anniversary, Halo 2 Anniversary, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, Halo Reach, Halo 4, Halo 5 Guardians, Halo Wars 2, Spartan Assault, and Spartan Strike are all playable on the service before the release of Halo Infinite later this year. From big team battle to Slayer, SWAT, snipers, and so much more in the multiplayer suites across the mainline games, to the incredible storytelling of Bungie and the passing of the torch to 343 Industries, there is so much incredible content to enjoy from the Halo franchise. The Master Chief Collection is truly a full package, finally, after a very rocky start, but you can enjoy all the previous Halo games in their full glory, now including Halo 4, and games like Halo Reach and Halo 3 are finally on PC as well after all these years. There's even Series X and S optimizations, so you can get high frame rates, FOV sliders, improved textures. If you'd prefer a real-time strategy game in the Halo universe, check out Halo Wars 1 and 2. Highly praised for their storytelling and gameplay, and may even help you prepare for the banished enemies that will be included prominently in Halo Infinite when it releases in 2021. The jewel of the crown of Xbox Game Studios, Halo has a ridiculous amount of content to enjoy right now on Game Pass. Go check it all out. And that is the list. This is a massive video. Let me know what you think of all of this. Let me know which games you're most excited about, what series you want to jump into after watching this video. There's just so much to get excited for. I've got a whole bunch of other videos coming out about Game Pass, so stay tuned for that. Please subscribe if you enjoy what I do here. Follow me over on Twitter at Direckt Gaming and hit me up with any of your questions and thoughts. Really appreciate every single one of you checking this video out. Share it with your friends. Let them know there's a million more games they can put in their backlog. Until next time, peace.